There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. Here I am for my first ever, I'm a little bit late to this party, but I am here for my first ever BookTube Spin. And as everybody and their dog knows, this is a idea that came to BookTube through Rick McDonald. And I am finally participating. This is BookTube Spin number 6, and Rick has encouraged people to do something a little bit different with it. But because it's my first one, I'm just going to go with the ordinary thing, and I'll try some variants later on. So as you know, you're to make a list of 20 books, and then Rick's going to spin the wheel twice, and whatever those two numbers are, you're supposed to read those books in the next couple months. And the timing is perfect. I may not get to very much reading in May because it's my last month of moving, but I will be ready to read to my heart's content in June. So if I read both of the books in June, or I'll certainly start one of them on the flight from Tokyo to Saskatoon on May 28th. But here's my list, and I'm not obviously going to give you a whole song and dance about each book because who's got time for that? But they are all books on my Apple Books app that I have never read. And some of them, especially the ones later in the list, are books that were recommended to me in some early episodes of Bite-Sized Book Chats, and other ones have just been collecting electronic dust that I bought and, never got to. So, number 1, Reservoir 13 by John McGregor. I'm hearing great things about this book, and even the criticisms of it make me think it would be a Sean book. It was nominated for some British literary prizes a few years ago when it came out. Lucky Boy by Shanti Sakaran. Sounds just fascinating. I remember specifically Doris loved it. Number 3 is a Polish work of avant-garde fiction, or maybe genre-defying text. Makes me a little nervous, but what the heck, what's going on the list? Dreams and Stones by the Polish writer Magdalena Tully, translated from the Polish by Bill Johnston. That's an archipelago book, ebook. This is a biography of Mary Benson, E.F. Benson's mother, and oh my God, was she fascinating. As Good as God, as Clever as the Devil, The Impossible Life of Mary Benson by Rodney Bolt. 2 Wallace Stigners. Number 5, Angle of Repose. It's taken me a long time to realize it's not Angel of Repose. That sounds like a better title to me, but anyway. And then number 6, Crossing to Safety by Wallace Stegner. I have not read any Stegner. I may get to read one, or if Rick's Wheel gives me number 5 and number 6, I'll be having a Stegner-a-thon. 7, Lady Oracle by Margaret Atwood, Roz. And I don't remember her channel name. And the lovely South African Roz did a bite-sized chat about that, and it's a Margaret Atwood novel I've never read. Nawaz Ahmed's novel from last year, I believe. Radiant Fugitive sounded just fascinating. I had a bite-sized book chat about that with Sarah Hope. Dust by Yvonne Adhiambo Awor, a Kenyan novelist, and this sounds amazing. Fault Lines by Emily Itami came onto my radar through Books on the Go, the fabulous podcast that is co-hosted by Anna Bailey Karras. It's by a Japanese-American writer, I think. Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. Sounds like such a Sean book. A very poignant, character-based novel about a romantic relationship between 2 Black British creative types, artists, I believe. Arctic Summer by Damon Galgut is a book that I believe Eric Carl Anderson trumpets, and I am here for anything Damon Galgut ever wrote. A memoir by an Indigenous writer who somewhat problematically is situated in Canada, Western Canada, I believe. Nobody Cries at Bingo by Dawn Dumont. A Plains Cree writer. A translated novel from Colombia, The Storm by Tomás González, translated from the Spanish by Andrea Rosenberg. Did a bite-sized book chat about this one with Ron, and totally sold me. A memoir by an Inuit writer. The memoir is called What I Remember, What I Know, The Life of a High Arctic Exile by Larry Odlalak. And I heard about this from the retired, noted Canadian news broadcaster Peter Mansbridge, who has a very popular podcast, which is how I get most of my Canadian news. A novel that was written in English, as far as I understand it, by an Argentinian writer, or maybe Argentinian American, I don't know the details. Hades, Argentina, by Daniel Lodell. In my excitement, I missed one. This one is a short story collection by a queer black writer, Kiss the Scars on the Back of My Neck by Joe Okonkwo. A Laurie Colwin novel, first anything that I would be reading from her. A Big Storm Knocked It Over. Had a bite-sized book chat about that with Margot. That was her first appearance on that series. An Icelandic novel came out last year, I believe, Magma by Thora Horleifsdottir, translated from the Icelandic by Meg Matic. And that was a bite-sized chat with Laura. And finally, one that is much more back in one of my other passions in reading, which is women writers of the first half of the 20th century. The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. I don't think I need to say anything about that. Those are my 20. I can't wait to see which ones I'll be reading in May and June. And if you happen to have been living under a rock and don't know about BookTube Skin, that's another tag. BookTube Spin. All the details will be linked, and I think there's a time limit. You have to have this up by, I assume it's in whatever time zone you are in, and I will easily get mine posted by the end of the day on April 14th. So I assume that's in whatever time zone you happen to be in, and then he's going to do the spin thing the next day. Thanks for watching.